President Foss, the commencement is assembled.
Thank you, Dr. Jenkins. The spring 2014 commencement exercise was convened by Dr. Pamela Jenkins, Professor of Sociology and President of the Faculty Senate. The music before and during the procession was played by the University of New Orleans Concert Band under the direction of Dr. Charles Taylor, Chair of the Department of Music. Good afternoon. My name is Peter Foss, and I'm proud to be the president of the University of New Orleans, the heartbeat of the Crescent City. I'm also proud to be a graduate of the University of New Orleans. Please rise for the national anthem to be played by Grammy Award-winning trumpeter, Mr. Irvin Mayfield, who serves as Artistic Director of the New Orleans Jazz Institute and is Professor of Professional Practice in the Jazz Studies program at the University of New Orleans. Thank you, Mr. Mayfield. If that doesn't give you the chills, I don't know what will. Please remain standing. I now invite the Reverend Curtis D. Schultz, Southern District President of the Lutheran Church, Missouri Synod, to offer our invocation.
Let us pray. Almighty God, creator of all things, you have endowed each of us with unique talents for the purpose of tending and nurturing the world and all who inhabit it. Bless our gathering this day as we celebrate the role that you have given each of us in all of your creative design. We give thanks for all who have made this day possible, the support of mothers, fathers, and families, the encouragement of friends, the generosity of donors, the dedication of faculty and staff, the diligent efforts of students, and your gracious hand of blessing which has been upon them all. Speak your peace that passes all understanding into the hearts fearful or apprehensive about the future. Your love to those who seek the reassurance of your continued presence, and your grace and forgiveness to those feeling unworthy of your blessing. Finally, give us joy in the knowledge that we are your children, whom you have chosen to live abundantly and eternally under your grace, forgiveness, and love in Jesus. It is in his name we pray. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Please be seated. Candidates for degrees, faculty and staff of the University of New Orleans, parents and friends, it is my pleasure to welcome you to the Spring 2014 University of New Orleans Commencement Ceremony. We are delighted you are here this afternoon sharing this highlight in the lives of our students, their families, and their friends. Candidates, the University of New Orleans is proud of you as your parents and friends because you have finished the race. And we're here gathered at the winner's circle to congratulate you. Today's program marks the end of long years of rigorous academic training and the beginning of a transition to a different chapter in your lives. When you first arrived at this university, you were determined and committed to run this race, sometimes at a tremendous sacrifice and cost to you and your family, but you have prevailed. Even though you may have taken longer than you first expected to run this race, you are still winners and in the winner's circle. Congratulations. To the parents and guardians, today's event signifies the culmination of many years of hard work, sacrifice, and self-denial so that your children can be provided the best education possible. Kindly accept my humble congratulations. To my colleagues in the faculty, we are now concluding 4 more years of teaching and mentoring these talented students. We all hope that we have been able to inspire in them, in their minds, the members of the graduating class, the genuine love of lifelong learning. Thank you from me for your commitment to your students and the University of New Orleans. I'm now honored to introduce to you our special guests attending the ceremony. They're seated to my left, and I ask that they rise as they are introduced. First, David Reynolds, Allison Steiner, and Harriet Grossman, whose daughter and granddaughter, Margaret Reynolds, will receive her master's degree this afternoon. Mr. Harold Boutte from the Louisiana Board of Regents and his family. Mr. Boutte's nephew, Justin Morrow, will receive his bachelor's degree this afternoon. Mr. Marcus Colston and his family. Who dat? His wife, Emily, will receive her degree this afternoon. Mr. Anthony Rubito and his wife, Donna. Their daughter, Leah, will receive her degree this afternoon. Mr. Lee Giorgio and his family. Mr. Giorgio is a member of the University of New Orleans President's Council. His daughter, Kelly Giorgio Camerford, will receive her doctoral degree this afternoon. Ms. Rika Triggs, guest of our commencement speaker. And last but certainly not least, my wife, Lori Foss, who's also a graduate of the University of New Orleans. At this time, I'd like to introduce those members of the platform party who have 9 speaking roles. I ask that they each rise and remain standing until all members have been introduced. I ask the audience to hold your applause until all have been recognized. Mr. Brandon Bonds, past president of the University of New Orleans Staff Student Government, who will receive his degree this afternoon. Mr. David Teagle, president of the University of New Orleans Student Government. Mr. Derek Rodriguez, president of the University Staff Council. Mr. Stanton F. McNeely III, vice chancellor for institutional advancement at Delgado Community College. Mr. Manolito Damian Smith, graduate assistant in the Department of Music. Dr. Greg Lassen, vice president for business affairs. Mr. Kevin McLinn, vice president for communications, marketing, and public relations. Dr. Brett Kempker, vice president for student affairs and enrollment management. Dr. Kenneth Sewell, vice president for research and economic development. Dr. Sharon Mader, dean of the university library. Dr. Colleen Backlin, executive assistant to the president, and Dr. Matt Moore, university registrar. It is my pleasure this afternoon to recognize a very special person with the awarding of an honorary degree by the University of New Orleans. Honorary degrees are academic degrees which honor distinguished contributions to either a specific field or to society in general. This afternoon's recipient has made contributions to both. It is my pleasure to award a Doctor of Humane Letters honoris causa to Ms. Soledad O'Brien. Ms. O'Brien is an American broadcast journalist, executive producer, and philanthropist. She's had an outstanding career in television and journalism and has been instrumental in her work with assisting young disadvantaged women in pursuit of attainment of higher education degrees. Ms. O'Brien is an ardent supporter of higher education. A native of St. James, New York on Long Island, she received her BA degree from Harvard University. In 2013, she joined Harvard University as a distinguished fellow and was appointed to the board of directors of the Foundation for the National Archives. Professionally, Ms. O'Brien is an award-winning journalist, documentarian, news anchor, producer, and television personality. She's one of the most sought-after journalists today. She was the originator of the highly successful documentary series for CNN, Black in America and Latino in America. Today, she is leading Starfish Media Group, a multi-platform media production distribution company dedicated to uncovering and producing empowering stories that take a challenging look at the often divisive issues of race, class, wealth, poverty, and opportunity. Ms. O'Brien recently entered into a multifaceted partnership with HBO. She joined my fellow New Orleans native Bryant Gumbel and the Real Sports team, allowing her to tell her stories through the vast prism of sports. Early in her career, Ms. O'Brien co-anchored Weekend Today on NBC and contributed to segments on the Today Show and NBC Nightly News. In 2003, she transitioned to CNN, where she was on CNN's morning news shows for many years, and in 2011 won an Emmy Award for Crisis in Haiti report on Haitian orphanages following the massive earthquake. In 2013, she won 2 Emmy Awards for reporting on kids and race and for the network's reporting of the 2012 presidential election. Her reporting on the Southeast Asia tsunami resulted in an Alfred I. DuPont Award for CNN. In 2013, Latino in America 2 won the celebrated Sin Award for documentaries. Her documentaries, Gay in America, Gary and Tony Have a Baby, and Unwelcome, the Muslims Next Door, also won journalism awards. She was named the Journalist of the Year by the National Association of Black Journalists and one of Newsweek magazine's 15 people who make America great. Ms. O'Brien has had a long relationship with New Orleans and the Gulf South. Her coverage of Hurricane Katrina earned her and CNN a George Peabody Award. She received another Peabody Award for her coverage of the BP Gulf Coast oil spill. In the wake of Hurricane Katrina, Ms. O'Brien and her husband, Brad Raymond, created the Soledad O'Brien and Brad Raymond Starfish Foundation, which supports hardworking, disadvantaged young women in their educational pursuits. Their foundation provides young women with a bridge between obstacles and opportunity by giving them the resources to overcome barriers and reach their highest potential. Their foundation has supported in the past and currently does support students at the University of New Orleans. This year, the foundation will award scholarships to 25 deserving young women. Additionally, Ms. O'Brien serves on the board of directors of the University of New Orleans affiliated New Orleans Jazz Orchestra. Ms. O'Brien's distinguished career in television journalism, her commitment to higher education, her work on issues affecting disadvantaged people, her love for New Orleans, and support of the University of New Orleans, as well as the recognition from her peers, warrant the granting of a Doctor of Humane Letters. Ms. O'Brien, would you come forward? With the approval of the University of Louisiana Board of Supervisors and authority vested in me, it is my privilege to award you an honorary Doctor of Humane Letters. Dr. Kevin Graves, Interim Dean of the College of Liberal Arts, and Dr. Richard Hansen, Interim Vice President of Academic Affairs, will hood Ms. O'Brien. Dr. O'Brien, how does that sound? Dr. O'Brien. I'm proud to have you as an alumna of the University of New Orleans. Now I'd like to ask one of our own and our newest alumna, Dr. Soledad O'Brien, to come forward and present the commencement address.
Good afternoon to the class of 2014. Yeah, I think that deserves a round of applause. I want to thank you for allowing me to be part of your celebrations today. Because today, you are surrounded by those who love you best, and those who really are responsible for getting you so far. Your parents, your grandparents, your siblings, your friends, your loved ones. It is truly because of them, because of their love and support, their pushing at times, that you are positioned for the futures that you are now facing. And to the grandparents and parents and friends, I know that some of you are looking out onto this audience, looking at your baby about to graduate. I know the feeling of this day. One of the young women in my foundation who has a scholarship to attend UNO will be in the audience one day. And I was, many decades ago now, a student sort of in the same seat, metaphorically, as you were. Anxious, excited, a little hungover, kind of bored. I have 4 children, so I know what it feels like to have a graduation because my kids are little, and these days, you know, they're constantly doing celebrations for kids all the time. So my 3rd graders just had a massive graduation, like, woohoo, 4th grade, yeah. But I know how it feels to be a parent. Your baby is leaving the nest, and that is kind of bittersweet. They're off to their real lives. And so today, I wanted to start by laying your fears to rest. They are not really leaving you. I mean, literally, they're not really leaving you. If they're not already living at home, they will be back. With their laundry, their friends, their stuff, they're just not gonna leave. Between now and I would estimate age 40, they will be back in their own bedrooms at least 3 times. Now, students, for those of you today who feel like this might be the end of an era, a day where you say goodbye to a community that you've known, that's nurtured you, the friends that you've had for years, saying goodbye to your alma mater. Again, I am going to lay your fears to rest. You're not saying goodbye. UNO will keep track of you forever. Going digital was the greatest thing ever that happened to the Alumni Association because they can follow you on Twitter. They will track you down. Dr. Foss himself, if you get a really good job, will send you a barrage of emails about fundraisers at his home because now you have money. You have jobs, you have money that doesn't belong to your parents. This means that you are now potential donors. Those of you who go on to work in, say, investment banking, where you will work 120 hours a week as analysts to the point where your own mothers will not be able to get you on the phone, UNO will track you down and ask you for money. Those of you who join the Peace Corps and are posted to the most remote parts of the globe, UNO will track you down and ask you for money, even if there is no cell phone service where you are. Trust me on this. So now you know graduation is supposed to work, right? I'm the speaker, I will spout some brilliance, you, the students, will nod and soak it all in, but I tend not to give advice, and I'll tell you why. Many years ago, I was asked by a women's magazine if I would tell them the best advice my mother ever gave, and I said, I think that's a really bad idea. Because my mother is an immigrant from Cuba, and she is kind of the tough nut mom. She's not like loving sweet mom, she's more like tough mom. So I said, let's not do that. And they said, no, this is a great idea. We'll do a half a page on the best advice your mom ever gave you, and we'll have a photo of the 2 of you hugging on the bottom half. I said, okay. My mother's best advice was, most people are idiots. And so the editor on the phone said to me, well, we'll get back to you. And of course, she never did. But it was true. It was the best advice, because I think that many people will tell you and spend the rest of their lives trying to tell you what you cannot do, what you should not do, what you'll never be able to accomplish. They'll tell you why your ideas will not work, why you will fail when you try something that you haven't done before. And her point was, they're idiots, and so you shouldn't listen to them. And I think my mother would be in a position to know. My parents are both immigrants to this country. They met in 1958. My dad is white and from Australia, and my mother is black and from Cuba. And they met because they both attended daily mass. My mom would walk, but my dad had a car, and he would drive, and he'd basically stop his car and hit on my mom. He would wind down the window of the car and say, would you like a ride? And of course, back then, no power windows, young people under the age of 30. So you had to lean in, put some effort in. Every day, every single day, he'd say, would you like a ride? And every single day she would say, no, thank you, because you don't take a ride from someone you don't know well, even if you'll sit next to them later that morning at daily mass. And then one day, he said, will you like a ride? And she said, yes. And they made a date to go on a date that evening. But because it was 1958, and they were in Baltimore, Maryland, every single restaurant turned them away. Because my mother is black and my father is white. And they would say to my father, you can come in, but to my mother, absolutely not you, and certainly not together. And so my mother, eventually, after being turned away from every single restaurant, took my father back to her apartment and whipped up an amazing meal of Cuban food, because she's a tremendous cook. And she would share that story with me and my sisters. And her entire point was, see, girls, if you could cook, you could get a man. I like to say, since I can't cook at all, I can't make it, but I can make it happen, delivered to my door in 20 minutes or less. My parents decided at the end of 1958 that they would get married. And interracial marriage was illegal in the state where they lived, Maryland, and in 16 other states in the nation. And so they drove to Washington, D.C., and they got hitched. And then they drove back and lived in Baltimore, Maryland, illegally as a married couple. And when their friends said, whatever you do, don't have children, because biracial kids will not have a chance in this world, I'm number 5 of 6. My parents were terrible listeners every single step of the way. And from that, I have learned, do not listen to other people's take on the life you should lead. My parents were excellent role models in not listening, so I won't give you any advice today. I will just tell you what I have seen. By not listening, you can figure out what your heart is telling you to do. When I was a student, I was studying English and American literature, and I was pre-med. But then I realized that telling stories was my passion, and I switched and started working at a local TV station. Kind of worked out. Now I travel the globe telling stories. Not taking advice means you'll break those boundaries, those walls that exist that make us feel like we're different from the other people that we meet. Not taking advice means that we'll stop looking for meanings in things that have no meaning. Listen, some relationships are not meant to be. Delete those numbers from your phone, for God's sake, and move on. Bad things sometimes happen, and they'll continue to happen until good people get in the way. I've seen this time and time again in every single story that I've covered. Be that good person. Decide what you want to be, and I'm not talking about a job. I'm talking about the kind of person you want to be. It is up to you and no one else. People can be mean and unfair, but far more people are good, and they're generous, and they're helpful, and they're hopeful, and that means that you are going to have to lead with an open heart, and it means also that that heart is probably going to be stomped on a few more times than you'd like. But if you go where your passion and your heart leads you, I guarantee you will have incredible experiences. I have. Say yes to bossy. I am bossy because I am the boss. Be the boss of your own destiny. Be bossy about the direction of your future. It won't just happen. It has to be guided and pushed. And yes, sometimes you will have to shout to get what you want to be realized. But use your voice to make change where it needs to be changed, and invest your heart and your soul in ideas and people and maybe other people don't care about or even don't see the value in. Not doing those things does not make you clever. It makes you cynical. And being cynical when you're young is obnoxious and it's boring. And it's not clever when you've come all this far and worked so hard to have a great education that has positioned you to do so many things. In 1958, my mother and father were living as a married couple in Baltimore, Maryland, and my mother used to tell me the story about that time, about how people would spit on them as they walked down the streets of Baltimore. And I would say to her, "So how did you deal with that?" And she said to me, "Oh, Lovey," calls me Lovey, "Oh, Lovey, America, we knew America was better than that, and we knew we could be part of making it better." That's what it was about. And she knew that if you were knocked off your path anytime someone spit on you, whether it was metaphorically or literally, you might not get to where you're trying to go. Because her dream was the American dream, and a dream that she would realize coming out of poverty in Cuba, with all 6 of her children graduating from college and all of her grandchildren heading toward college. So please, as my mother would advise you if she were here today, she would say, don't listen to idiots. Figure out your dream and be brave enough to go and do it and live it. Otherwise, as a friend told me the other day, someone will hire you to help them with their dream. And that doesn't sound quite as fulfilling, does it? Today, you begin some new, amazing things. And you also begin a lot of mundane crap as well. For some of you, you probably should learn how to change the paper in a fax machine, I spent my first year out of college answering phones, removing staples from walls, but my dream to tell people's stories that weren't told, like my mother's, like people in this audience, I think. I knew that people who were on the cusp of amazing things, if they decided to be brave and committed to, could be unfettered from the expectations of others, truly, truly unafraid. And what I've seen in my career, whether it's covering tsunamis in Asia, or Hurricane Katrina in New Orleans, or earthquakes in Haiti, is that pretty much everybody wants the same thing. We're much more alike than we're different. You need to break through walls that exist between people who don't look like you or don't act like you, because those walls do not have to exist. You need to seek to understand why people do what they do and seek to know people where they are. You don't always have to agree. But having conversations is the only way to bridge the distance in understanding each other. Not taking advice means you can choose to stand up for people who need your voice, and you'll have the chance, unfortunately, every day to do that, to stand up and say, this is not okay. Or you can choose to walk by and avert your eyes when you see an injustice, big or small. But be that person who stops at the risk of not voicing a popular opinion, say, this is not okay. This is not okay. Because as my mother said, America is better than that. And it's our job to get there. You have a great education. And that means you have an obligation, because not everybody has had the chance that you have had. And that obligation is to use the power that you've been given to help others who have not been quite so lucky. To use your voice in defense of those who cannot speak for themselves. Today, you graduate from a school in my favorite city in the world, a city that has truly had, yes, a city that has had its ups and downs, but there are lessons to be learned in that too. It's not what you were, it's where you are and where you're going to be that matters. You are an impressive group. I'm going to say it again. You're an impressive group. But guess what? After today, nobody cares that you're impressive. Because today you are in the business of new things, new jobs, new studies, new careers, new passions. Your job is not to be impressive and confirm the person that you are. Your job is to figure out what you want to be. It's not about what you accomplished, but about what you're poised to do next. And that will require bravery and confidence and a lot of faked confidence and a little bit of insanity as well. Don't let people kill your joy, because you will find them. They'll glom onto your shoe like gum. So I would advise, starting today, removing people from your life who make you feel bad about who you are and what you want to be. Don't let people steal your joy. You have lives ahead of you to do well and to do good in this world and to be great and to be good and to find greatness and to seek out goodness in other people, because it is all around us. Today, you're being honored, and you will celebrate. But tomorrow will be a day of big questions. Who do you want to be? What do you want to stand for? You have been positioned, class of 2014, to do big things. But remember to do them in the service of others, because you will discover that selflessness is ultimately what makes you great. Congratulations and good luck.
Thank you, Dr. O'Brien. On behalf of the students, faculty, and staff at the University of New Orleans, please accept this token of appreciation for serving as our spring 2014 commencement speaker. Okay. Now we've come to the part of the program which we've all been waiting for, the conferring of degrees. I ask Dr. Richard Hansen, Interim Vice President for Academic Affairs, to present the candidates for degrees.
Thank you, President Foss. The University of New Orleans is pleased to present its candidates for the degree Doctor of Philosophy. Will the candidates please rise? President Foss, these candidates have completed all the requirements and demonstrated the originality and excellence appropriate to the highest degree the university bestows. I am pleased to present them to you for the conferring of their degrees.
With the recommendations of the graduate faculty and the Interim Vice President for Academic Affairs, and by the authority vested in me by the University of Louisiana System Board of Supervisors, I can confer upon each of you the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, with all privileges and responsibilities thereunto appertaining. Congratulations. Please come forward to the platform as your name is read by Mr. Adam Norris, Director of Public Relations, to receive your diploma and doctoral hood.
William John Hippler III, Dissertation, Market Frictions and the Efficiency of Capital Allocation. Major Professor Mohammed K. Hassan, hooded by Professor Dwigu Zirik. Li Zhu, dissertation, 2 essays in finance, analyzing the value of cash to U.S. and non-U.S. firms and institutional trading in stock index firms. Major Professor Pei Wang Wei, hooded by Dwigu Zirik. Jose Francisco Rubio Zambrano, dissertation, analysis of investment strategies, a new look at investment returns. Major professors Mohammed K. Hassan and Neil Maroney, hooded by Neil Maroney. Kelly Landry Allig, dissertation, the influence of cultural and social capital on post-baccalaureate students' decision to enter and complete graduate school. Major professor Tammy Kazi Konate. Kelly Giorgio Camelford, dissertation, the relationship between implementation of the American School Counselor Association national model and professional secondary school counselor burnout. Major professor Barbara Herlihy. Kristen Noel Dickens, dissertation, counselor education, doctoral students' experiences with multiple roles and relationships. Major professor Barbara Herlihy. Catherine Gehagen McDermott, dissertation, professional school counselors and relational aggression, training, perceptions, barriers, and interventions. Major professor Barbara Herlihy. Norma Davis Felton, dissertation, a mixed methods inquiry into science teachers' perceptions of the effect of professional development, experiences on implementation of research-based instructional practice. Major professors Ivan Gill and Evelyn Germain McCarthy. Ryan Jason Henney, dissertation, Measure of a Man, a ground theory approach to understand gay, queer, college men's self-identified masculinity. Major professor Belinda Cambry. Hooded by Brian Beabout. Erica Del Pilar Burton, dissertation, Women Rule, but Do They Make a Difference? Women in Politics, Social Policy, and Social Conditions in Latin America. Major professor Christopher Raymond, hooded by Michael Yulshoff. Anna Eleanor Hackman, dissertation, Moving Motherly, Raising Children in the Hospitality Industry. Major professor Renya Ehrenfucht. Aram Parrish Leaf, dissertation, Spatial Analysis of Post-Hurricane Katrina Thermal Pattern and Intensity in Greater New Orleans, Implications for Urban Heat Island Phenomenon. Major professor Mahtab A. Lodi. Laura Grace Alexander, dissertation, Comparative Biology of 3 Species of Costa Rican Haterini. Major professor Philip J. DeVries, hooded by Wendy Schluchter. Rajesh Komati, dissertation, CU catalyzed gateways in the synthesis of acridine derivatives and their biological evaluations as anti-cancer drugs. Major professor Branko Jursic, hooded by Mark Trudell. Alexander Michael Sherwood, dissertation, Design, Synthesis, and Biological Evaluation of Novel Compounds with CNS Activity, Targeting Cannabinoid and Biogenic Amine Receptors. Major professor Mark Trudell. Carlos Arnold Zelaya, Jr., dissertation, X-ray structure analysis and topological charge density studies of Gaussy-Pole derivatives, Major Professor Edwin Stevens.
We have now come to the awarding of the master's degrees. Will the candidates for the degrees of Master of Fine Arts, Master of Arts, Master of Arts in Teaching, Master of Business Administration, Master of Education, Master of Music, Master of Public Administration, Master of Science, and Master of Urban and Regional Planning please stand? President Foss, each of these candidates has fulfilled the requirements for the graduate degrees and graduate certificate indicated in the program. It gives me great pleasure to present them to you for the conferring of their degrees.
With the recommendations of the graduate faculty and interim vice president for academic affairs, and by the authority vested in me by the University of Louisiana System Board of Supervisors, I confer upon each of you the recommended master's degree with all the privileges and responsibilities thereunto appertaining. Congratulations. Please be seated. As directed by the marshal, you will come to the platform to receive your diplomas.
College of Business Administration, Master of Business Administration, Travis Matthew Oban. Janine Alyssa Bridges. Dominique Selena Carey. Marshall Brooke Cusey. Grayson Wesley Davis. Kristen Dominique De Silva. Caitlin Jean DeBoose. Charles Joseph Egan III, diploma given by his grandfather and Professor Emeritus of History, Gerald P. Bode. Deanne Taylor Fath. Laura Catherine Ford. Desmond Keith Green. Mary Harmene Huber. Jingxiao Jiang. Huang Tae Win. Justin Robert Swallow. Esteban David Sotomayor Zuniga. Elise P. Thomas. Rola Absalom Tishner V. Jeffrey P. Wilson. Master of Science, Alden Wilbur Bishop. Jennifer Lynn Bourgeois. Carlencia Raylene Calvin. Lindsay Margaret Doherty. Nurab Kadka. Gina Marie Mancuso. Sapana Pandey. Gavin Michael Petrie. College of Education and Human Development, Master of Art in Teaching, Catherine Ann Anderson. Ashley Jordan Argrave. Thomas Pierre Shaz. Cindy Swan Delat. Ariel Daphne Fitzgerald. Cheryl Doherty Gross. Kirsten Kimberly Gustafson. Tracy LeBlanc. Adele Taylor Miller. Christine Belinda Oherdorf. Nicholas Charles Perrette. Catherine O'Flaherty Petrie. Marissa Fenley De Leon Reyes. Jennifer Clement Vollenweider. Todd M. Wackerman. Whitney Lorraine Wallace. Joshua Jamal Washington. Master in Education, John Francis Blowy Jr. Kelly Lane Carter. Melissa Marie Denise. Alexis Lombardo. Jennifer Ann Miguez, employee of the College of Liberal Arts. Patricia Fernandez Ordonez. Gloria Salmon Rimawi. Schwan Carrier Seyo. College of Engineering, Master of Science in Engineering, Sina Amini. Shrimanth Bapudi. Elena Borbor Ajari. Jennifer Doherty. John Edgar Dimitri Philostrat. Shadiya Kumar Ganapathy Anurade. Sushma Gimair. Alexandra Marissa Hoslauer. Amrita Iyer. Aswin Janardhan. Donald Francis Geraldman Jr. Samuel Francis Kolcheski. Chad Anthony Larkins. Gregory Allen Matson II. Tatiana Palyukova. Jeffrey Michael Single. Grecia Alejandra Terran Gonzalez. Master of Science in Engineering Management, Duha Amin Diab, employee of the Office of the Registrar. Brian Devin Fitzpatrick. Ricardo Tabaluyan. College of Liberal Arts, Master of Arts, Victoria Denise Bonilla. Maria Celeste Casati Allegretti. Jahan Chandler. Tawana Catrice Cheatham. Deshawn Delin Deku Cox. Hannah Faith Daly. Carol Romagera Eshelman. Juan Rodrigo Galbadon Vielma. Andrew Boyd Gibbs. Sean Breen Gilbert. Paul Robert Hebert. Omar Bradley Iktek II. Sean Michael Jemison. Weishi Jiang. Suzette Elizabeth Lake. Catherine Adrienne Luck. William T. McDonald. Jacqueline Marie Snyder. Victonio Bynum Spencer. Master of Fine Arts, Jennifer Lynn Biot. Lee Lawrence Downing. Robert James Facio. Gwendolyn Susie Granger. Wei Song Huang. Nicole Ruley Jones. Master of Music, Tanarat Chechana. Thank you. Brian Michael Kazer. Manolito Damian Smith. Thomas Usurek Witek. Master of Public Administration, Anne Marit Buckton. Margaret Meredith Reynolds, presented by her mother and associate professor in the Department of Special Education and Habilitative Services, Dr. Kate Reynolds. Alicia Maria Solorzano. Sarah Ann Walensky. Master of Urban and Regional Planning, Eric Adair Bettis. Bryant Michael Dixon. Benjamin Gregory Griffin. Hunter Sebastian Hebert. Joseph Raymond Legault Jr. Renee Charles Pastorek. Brooke Tucker Perry. College of Science, Master of Science, Julie Gloria Alexander. Santosh Balavini. Andrew Paul Boudreau. Kimberly Teague Clark. Daniel James Donahue. Nerita Gosal. Srinivasa Reddy Gogula. Leah Grassy Schroeder. Leah Gustin. Karen Lund Marshall. Melanie Christina Mayer. Abalash Nakir Kukamula. Barsha Shrestha. Patrick Michael Stuklik. Ri Wang. Sarah Wozni. Zhongyi Zheng.
We now come to the presentation of the undergraduate degrees. All right. The deans will present the candidates for degrees from their respective colleges. We shall begin with the College of Business Administration. Dr. John Williams, Dean of the College of Business, will present the candidates.
Will the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science in the College of Business Administration please rise? Dr. Hanson, these candidates have met all the entry requirements for their respective degrees. I am happy to present them to you. Candidates, please remain standing.
Dr. Darrell Kruger, Dean of the College of Education and Human Development, will present the candidates from that college.
The candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts in the College of Arts and Science, College of Education and Human Development will please stand. Will the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science please rise? These candidates, Dr. Hanson, have fulfilled all requirements for their respective degrees, and it is with pleasure that I present them to you. Candidates, please remain standing.
Dr. Norman Whitley, Interim Dean of the College of Engineering, will present the candidates from his college.
Will the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science in the College of Engineering please stand? I am pleased to present these candidates to you, Dr. Hanson. They have fulfilled every degree requirement. Candidates, please remain standing.
Dr. Kevin Graves, Interim Dean, will present the candidates from the College of Liberal Arts.
Will the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Arts in the College of Liberal Arts please stand? Will the candidates for the Bachelor of Science in Urban Studies and Planning degree please rise? Dr. Hanson, these candidates have met all of the requirements of their degrees, and it is with pleasure that I present them to you. Candidates, please remain standing.
Dr. Steve Johnson, Dean of the College of Sciences, will present the candidates from that college.
Will the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Sciences in the College of Sciences please stand? Dr. Hanson, these candidates have met all the requirements for their respective degrees, and it is with great pleasure that I present them to you. Candidates, please remain standing.
Dr. Bill Sharpton, Senior Associate Vice President for Academic Affairs, will present the candidates for the Bachelor of General Studies degree and the Bachelor of Interdisciplinary Studies.
Will the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of General Studies please stand? And will the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Interdisciplinary Studies please stand? Dr. Hanson, these candidates have met all the requirements for their degrees, and it's with pleasure that I present them to you. Candidates, please remain standing.
Dr. Foss, these candidates have fulfilled all the requirements for their undergraduate degrees printed above their names in the commencement program. It gives me pleasure to present them to you for the conferring of their degrees. Dr. Foss.
With the recommendations of the academic deans of the respective colleges, the interim vice president for academic affairs, and the authority vested in me by the University of Louisiana System Board of Supervisors, I confer upon each of you the appropriate undergraduate degree with all the privileges and responsibilities thereunto appertaining. Congratulations. Please be seated. As directed by the marshal, you will come to the platform to receive your diplomas.
College of Business Administration, Bachelor of Science, Andre Lucia Aguilar. Ali Ibrahim Al-Dassari. Fernando Jose Alvarenga, cum laude. Edgardo F. Andoni. Brenda Hasling Andrews, magna cum laude. Charles James Arsenault, Jr., magna cum laude. Victor Arroyo III. Alexandra Marie Aviles. Gregory Charles Barbe, cum laude. Cheryl Annette Bartlett. Christy Bird Bergman. Brandon Michael Blanchard. Yesenia Ilyana Baden. Kirsten Renee Bonacard. Jennifer Marie Baritsky. One more time. Derek Earl Basso, summa cum laude. Ashley Marie Bro. Vanessa White Breslin. Latia Tanisha Brown. Jordan Scott Burring. Dustin Aaron Cade. Jordan Canterbury Cardwell. Aubrey Rose Cervini. Rebecca Lynn Shaban. Kayla Lynn Cheney. Timothy Todd Clark. Brittany J. Cobb. Ryan Richard Couge. Stephanie Guadalupe Cruz. Sean Joseph Dare, summa cum laude. Danielle Marie Deprio. Darren K. Dooley. Courtney Duplessis. Corey James Durbin. Jessica May Edwards. Alan Ryan Every. Philip Edward Fernandez. Henry John Flournoy. Stephanie Marie Foltz. Jacqueline McCall 4. Dante William Gandolini. Jerome Richard Garbut Jr. Nicole Marie Gobert. Jason Paul Givatella. Barry Joseph Gibson. David Barr Gooch Jr. Stephen Scott Guillory. Osman A. Gulati. Daniel J. Gutierrez. Amanda Louise Halley. Andrew John Hamilton. Chantrell Dominique Hargrave. Casey Brooks Harper, cum laude. Donald Harris Jr. Ashley Ann Hartman, cum laude. Christina LeBove Harvey. Glenn Charles Hebert. Natalie Marie Hollingshead. Faye Antoinette Menanjas Ontiveros, cum laude. Taylor Marie Hooper. Knock K. Hun. Aikida Tamara James. Marketa Janosova. Angel Victoria Johnson. Corey Lee Johnson. Calvin A. Johnson Jr. Amber Mae Johnston. Angie Renee Jones. Kristen Nicole Kelly. Vasilios Bill Coraminas, cum laude. Stephen James Lamana. Michelle Marie LaRose. Ryan Gregory Lavelle. Jared Cresswell Lewis. Anthony Joseph Laparde. Elizabeth Lopez Hampton. Jennifer Carey Matronga. Melissa Cherie Matthews. Robert Joseph Mayfield. Jose Alberto Mendoza. Tammy Barca Mercier. Melanie Marie Mims. Serene Ahmad Mohammed. Stanley Moore IV. Austin Joseph Nakan. Jamie Lynn Nere. Hugh Trung Anthony Wynn. Raquel Nicole Nichols. Joshua Aaron Knoll. Heather Elizabeth Overton. Alicia Marie Page Foster. Jonathan Samuel Palazzolo. Peter Diogenes Papadopoulos. Krupal Janishkumar Patel, cum laude. Ting Peng. Dinardu Nilanga Pereira. Evelyn Vanessa Pineda. Andrea Cecil Pittman. Leah Margaret Rabito. Jacob Vincent Reed. John Anthony Reyes. Kevin Troy Richard. Glenna Richmiller, magna cum laude. Daniel Stephen Ridlinger. Austin James Ritchie. Ana Alicia Rivas. Meredith Elise Rivas. Sidney Benjamin Rougelow IV. Natalie Carol Rowe. Bobby Lynn Rudd. Imari Monique Ruffin. Jesse Paul Russell. Gloria Marie Samuels. Jonathan Abraham Sandlin. Matthew Ryan Soche. Nicholas F. Saby. Christopher Dion Section cum laude. Belal Awad Shalaby. Evan Christopher Schultz. Kiera Marie Slack. Hunter Chase Smith. Rachel Ann Spire, diploma given by her mother and Professor Emeritus of Economics Janet Spire, cum laude. Okay. Isa Ann St. Julian. Shelley Curran Stearns. Taylor Shane Stevens. Bartow Greenslet Stulb. Wei Xuan Sun. Stephen Ronald Tanis. Jessica Marie Toman, magna cum laude. Lauren Elizabeth Tidwell. Melvin Herman Urson IV. Ingrid Yaneris Valdez Fernandez. Andrea Stephanie Valencia. Tracy Puterer Vasquez, cum laude. Vergis. Kaylin Marie Vergis. Diep Nok T. Vu. Julie Ann Vullo. Orlando Joseph Watkins Jr. Peyton Reed Waters. Robin Lynette Williams. Elena Carol Wishmeyer. Luke Christopher Wyckoff. Mo Yu. David Crawford Young. College of Education and Human Development, Bachelor of Arts. Kendall Damon George. Julia Claire Hemmings. Raven Hill Hughes. Thank you. Amanda Ray Knezevich, cum laude. Andy Paul Lansing. Jessica Lynn Monahan. Jade Marie Purvis. Taylor Lastine Smith, magna cum laude, University Honors and Honors in Education. Jorge Velasquez. Bachelor of Science. Jillian Rachel Gravois Barlow. Lindsay Brooke Bastow. Carly Ray Brandt. Melanie Ann Cade. Sarah Nicole Chasson. Gust. Margaret Taylor Gust. Elena Rebecca Henry. Amber Lynn Hernandez, cum laude. Lauren Luke Kennedy. Jamie Renee Landry, cum laude. Megan Gilmore Lowe. Melissa Ann Loischek. Kimberly Cecilia Lopez. Brandy Marie Manders. Rebecca Ann Michelet, cum laude. Ariel Nicole Moore, magna cum laude. Elizabeth Claire Osborne. Amy Christine Shoemaker, magna cum laude. Ava Catherine Spruill. Heather Marie Vachetta, cum laude. Madison Margaret Wright, cum laude. College of Engineering, Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering. Mohammed Kesem Abuzaleh, summa cum laude. Miriam Boo Michaelo. Ryan James Brasher. Cernco. Ross Allen Sinco. Scott Patrick Curry. Patrick Henry Danton. Philippus. Stephen DeFilippis. Bradley Thomas Deaton Jr. Lars Eriksson. Fadul Zakaria Fadul. Ryan Michael Gherkin. Kevin Gerard Giroir. Stuart Robert Hart. Alex Rafael Ontiveros. Justin Gregory Jacob, summa cum laude. Andrew R. Jensen. Chloe Leanne Main. Anna Christina Malara, cum laude. Jason Frederick Merritt. Gabriel A. Morahone. Cindy Michelle Morris. Grace Nicole Nakan. Vogan Hui Win, cum laude. Arthur Eugene Robinson Jr. Christopher Joseph Sirkovich. Travis Neal Smith. Stuart Wilson Strunk, summa cum laude. Hung Kwok Vu. Bachelor of Science in Electrical Engineering, Matthew Scott Bittinger. Jacob T. Borison. Andrew Paul Brignac. Patrick Sean Campbell. Christopher John Robert Canales, magna cum laude. Ahmed Mahmoud Rabi Elanakwi Awad. Adrian Andres Lasso. Jeffrey Harrer Lede, magna cum laude. Sarah Elizabeth Pizzolato. Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering, Stephen Joseph Bernard. Jessica Lynn Borden. Frederick John Brunner. Rachel Coggins. Kang Duc Din. Kevin Ray Gervais. Jared Eugene Michael Gregoire. Jesse Maitland Holt. Danny Lee Hornberger. Charles Lemon Jackson Jr. Christopher Jared Johnson. Jared Michael Landry. Michael James May. Romel Montano Valencia. Christopher Matthew Ogeron. Diego Raul Ortiz. Armando Christopher Perez. David Christopher Poche. Padani? Christopher Thomas Padani. Ka M. Tran. Dong Xuan Vu. Christopher Glenn Walterman.
Pause after you pause for a second. Pause.
This degree will be awarded posthumously, accepted by Dr. Paul Schilling, Chair of the Department of Mechanical Engineering, on behalf of his parents who are in the audience today, Nicholas Joseph Simo. Bachelor of Science in Naval Architecture and Marine Engineering, David Michael Bonival II. Britton Michael Scott Bro. Ahmed Nasrul Islam. Egrius Yanakivicius. Jason Prescott Morris. Lee Michael Noel. Juan Joseph Suarez. Jason Bradley Thompson. Kyle Stephen Tyson, summa cum laude, and honors in naval architecture and marine engineering. Lucas A. P. Weiser. College of Liberal Arts, Bachelor of Arts, Victoria Elizabeth Acosta, cum laude. Christina Marie Agaluz. Aubrey Larson Allison, summa cum laude. Ashley Marie Anderson. Brandon Terrell Bonds. Jasmine Teresa Angel. Courtney Rochelle Anweiler. Alec John Armentor. Jessica Nicole Arroyo. Haley Elaine Ash. Sean Elizabeth Asanari. Stephanie Michelle Beatrice. Gabriela Maria Beatrice Barahona. Monica Patrice Beasley Robinson. Sean Robert Beck. Tia Cheyenne Benton. Mary Grace Catherine Bernard, summa cum laude, University Honors and Honors in International Studies. John Robert Bigelow. Allison Joy Blaze, magna cum laude. Courtney Anderson Bowe. Jonathan Bonanno. Brian Todd Bourgeois. Kieran Patrick Brennan, cum laude. Candace Catherine Bua Gasser. Don J. Bowie. Matthew Ethan Carmichael. Francesca Marina Caruso. Benjamin James Cathy. Ronald Peter Clark Jr. Jonathan V. Clay Jr. Marinika Sandrell Coleman. Timothy Ryan Connor. Mark Allen Cranford. Zoe B. Cuneo, magna cum laude. Alex Victoria Curol. Naja Denise Davis. Marino Antonio De Leon. Violeta Del Rio del Castillo. Thank you. Evelyn Marie Delerfano. Corinne Nadine Dillio, magna cum laude. Lucas Paul Dane. Ashley Lauren Dubois. Jennifer Lynn Engel. Andrew Justin Arrington. John Tyler Esquivel. Saber Nasser Farhoud. Kelly Michelle Felix. Mark A. Fulse. Lauren Fred. Britton William Frost. Adam Futch. Hannah Marie Galloway, cum laude. Savannah Ganuscio, cum laude. Tara Linnell Garbut. Nola Gabriela Garmin Ramos. Amelia Natal Gherkin. Spencer Charles Wolfgang Gilkist. John Wayne Gillette Jr. Stephanie Lynn Gleber. Abby Marie Graffio. Spencer Winfield Gregory, cum laude. Mark Lewis Griffin, cum laude. Lisa Marie Gross. Lindsay Guitro, magna cum laude. Caitlin Elena Gunnell. Ryan William Heinrich. Emily Marie Helmstetter. Kaylin Marie Hepting. Chelsea Brooke Hines. Samuel John Hippen, cum laude. Carl Cassius Hugemeyer. Chase Sebastian Huikens, cum laude. Jessica Hurick. Alyssa Renee Isaac. Ryan Christopher Jacob. Jenny Viola Justin. Stephen Nathan Kopp. Shelby Renee Kendrick, cum laude, University Honors and Honors in History. Lauren Taylor Lecomte. Holly Nicole Leday. To Ku Dang is a newly commissioned second lieutenant in the United States Air Force. Danielle Ariel Linder. Blaine Joseph Lorette. Jonathan Deo Lumpkin, summa cum laude, University Honors and Honors in History and Philosophy. Daniel Lund IV. Margot LeGarrick Marks, magna cum laude. Kelsey Jane Matthews. Lindsay Eileen McCann. Jeffrey Keller McCormick. Leah Denise McCraw. Dominique Danielle Melder. Karen Anidra Milligan. Sarah Louise Moller. Madriana Maricela Montes. Erica Andrea Murray. Catherine Elizabeth Nager, cum laude. Reynaldo Negrete Jr., Robert Joseph Ordone, Elizabeth Mary Owen, Carlin Octave Perez, Svetlana Alexandrovna Pizzati, cum laude, Danielle Lindsay Radcliffe Jupiter, Maxwell Lewis Reagan, cum laude, Ryan C. Repose, Christopher Joseph Rapp, Elizabeth Reyes, Caleb Paul Richard, Kenneth Robertson, Rachel Ann Rodriguez, Robert Linney Rose, cum laude, Maggie Elizabeth Roussel, cum laude, Douglas Prentice Rowe, Pernell Anthony Rubin, Alina Sampson, Melissa May Scheib, Carly Jeanette Smith, Desmond Terrell Smith, Casey Brenna Smith, Molly Ann Smith, Frederick Richard Sprinkle, magna cum laude, Laura Elizabeth Steffen, Anna Marie Stockstill, Shelby Sarah Shrum Storr, Hunter Jackson Strickland, Joanna Machado Tonon, Anna Anya Tuttle, summa cum laude, Andrew Hayes Villarreal, Crystal Laura Weber, Jamie Lynn White, Raluca S. Walcott, Chad Patrick Worthley, Julia Sinclair Yoakum, Camille Andre Young, magna cum laude, Kayla Ray Young, Bachelor of Science, Jasmine Brienne Basley, Emily Sylvia Colston, Taryn Ann Daneman, Jamel Omar Dorsey, Matthew Ivan Gatesman, Matthias Eli Helfin, cum laude, College of Science, Bachelor of Science, Joshua J. Abity, Daniel Joseph Adams, Taharir N. Ahmad, Noraldine Rafat Al-Kurd, Christian Charles Ames, Shantae Marie Anderson, Alyssa Solis Atalano, Melanie D. Austin, Tyler Paul Bailey, Ori Nicholas Westine Ball, Sarah Catherine Ball. Tatiana Odeli Barre. Trey Joseph Berthelot. Melody Celeste Bolton. Patricia Andrade Borges, cum laude. Calvin Matthew Bouchon. Brooke Ashley Boudreau, cum laude. Madeline Marie Barbara Broussard. Kristen Michelle Burleson, magna cum laude. Megan Marie Callahan. Claire Elizabeth Caputo. Sana June Clark. Samaj Tamara Crumpton. Mary Elizabeth Curry. Chief Petty Officer and Officer Candidate Joseph Anthony Diaz will be commissioned as Ensign in the U.S. Navy. Joseph Anthony Diaz. Tanisha Rakira Ducksworth. Travis Paul Dumont. Anna Ebert. Charles Ray Ellison II. Cornell Farland. Jude Nicholas Foray Jr. Jamie Lee Frank. Kendall Jared Frank. Isaac Malachi Fulton, cum laude. Arturo Galindo. Janine Hanniganum. Justin William Gibson. Stephen Andrew Gibson, cum laude. Amber Lynn Goodman, magna cum laude. Olga Granados Mejorado. Thaddeus Jude Greenlee Jr. Galizo. Cody Michael Galizo. Stephen A. Hagan. Shaniqua A. Hayes, magna cum laude. Rebecca Jean Helms, cum laude. Jeremy Vance Henley. Skylar Simone Hicks. Kimberly Julia Hurstis. Adam J. Holman. Jessica Holmes. Ingrid Aisha Hughes. Christopher Leonardo Interiano. Florencia Ituri Mariaca, magna cum laude and honors in psychology. Kristen Sue Kendrick. Sergey Oleksandrovich Kozlov. Shelby Catherine Lesh. Tung Tan Lam. Lyndon Lance Lassiter, cum laude. Say your last name. Danielle Gonzalez Lachelet. Contrail Marsalis Lawson. David Lee. Allison Renee Lesage. Shamarcus Dwayne Lewis. Unitra Chuchlia Long. Lisa Marie Loicano. Lauren Nicole Lunsford, magna cum laude. Alexander Stephen Lyons Jr. Little. Dustin Spencer Lytle. Ian K. McClay. Eileen Therese Maldonado. Royce. Benjamin Royce Manuel. Morange. Elizabeth Anna Morange. Ryan Allen Martinez. Dustin Siegfried Mayer. Bessie C. Michelle. Tabitha Ann Milligan. Olga Miocevich. Rana J. Mohammed. Raul Antonio Moradel Jr., magna cum laude. Xiomara Merced Mortar. Macy Felicia Merla. Christina Nguyen. Hien Tan Nguyen, cum laude. Adam Ryan Pace, magna cum laude. Mallory Marie Palmazano, cum laude. Kimberly Ann Patorno. Emmanuel Paul. Lisa T. Fan, cum laude. Angel. Angel Dariel Phillips. Amanda Teresa Piglia. Harrison Wilkes Reynolds. Rebecca Leah Rice, cum laude. Tia Monique Robinson. Kayla Joan Romero. Gianna Danielle Rowe. Krista Marie Russell, cum laude. Kelly Joseph Sanamo. Isabel Esbeti, magna cum laude. Rebecca Elizabeth Schwest. Andrew Charles Schroth, cum laude. Megan Ann Selva. Ryan Storm Smith. Studer. Nicholas Michael Studer, magna cum laude. Whitney Marie Townsend, summa cum laude. Aubrey Ann Traina. Kevin Kwok Hung Tran. Christy Thao Tran, magna cum laude. Trang Teresa Tran. Rima Faria Ula. Aisha Pacey Omriger, summa cum laude. Amanda Jean Yuze, cum laude. Miguel Angel Velasquez, honors in psychology. Sarahi Velasquez Guzman, magna cum laude. Tiffany Zante Watler. Taylor Quinn Whitty. Naja Ashley Williams. Felicia Michelle Williams. Interdisciplinary Studies, Bachelor of Interdisciplinary Studies, Nicholas David Angelica. Lacey Mayfield Arb. Biro. Stephanie Lorraine Biro. Maria Elise Kylie Bro. Tiffany Childress Brinson. Frida M. Brown. Natasha Andrea Brown. Amber Ardella Carey Clay. Kozad. Molly Delane Kozad. Krafasi. Jody L. Krafasi. Alexandra Dacey. Matthew Charles DeRoca. Kayla Davis Donnell. Corey Anthony Dixon. Alana Monique Onkelard. Rebecca Jean Foltz. Danielle Alexis Fortner. Sherilyn Christine Foster. Zachariah Alicia Francois. Gabrielle Dominique Friels. Sarah Jo Fridley. Ashley Marie Fuselier. Giroir. Samantha Giroir. Gregory Joseph Grant Jr. Courtney Alexandra Jarrell. Jared Michael Jobert. Jasmine Michelle Johnson. Kimberly Renee Lafayette. Christina T. Lamb. Melanie LeDuc. Anna Teresa Lee. Mark Louis Liggio. Jessica Lynn Loicano. Isaac Dwayne Mack. Tredarius Devontae McPherson. Justin Michael Million. Justin Jarris Moreau. Amy Elizabeth Mullins, cum laude. Elizabeth Ann Percival. Amber Pratini. Will Kelly Ramey. Cody Cheyenne Reyes. Janae Lynn Robinson. Monique Janelle Robisky. Juana Ignacia Rodriguez. Bethany Ann Salter. Semis. Catherine Jane Sims. Carrie Irlandra Stewart. Edith Elaine McKinney Talley, summa cum laude and honors in interdisciplinary studies. James Taylor Tebby. Andre D. Torres. Jason R. Washington.
It is now my pleasure to call upon one of my own classmates, Dr. Fred Rodriguez, who is president of the University of New Orleans International Alumni Association, to offer his congratulations.
Thank you. Listen, folks, I know my place. I'm the second to last guy standing up here before you can start your personal celebrations. But it's important, for y'all to continue to bask in the pride of this moment. And the message I bring to you may be the most important message that you're going to hear about this university. As president of the UNO Alumni Association, and on behalf of all the members of the UNO Alumni Association, we're proud of you. We congratulate you on your accomplishments, or receiving your degrees, and we welcome you into the family of alumni. You are joining an amazing and accomplished group of fellow alumni who are leaders in their communities. Their achievements in science, education, engineering, the arts, and all the disciplines are a very great source of pride for UNO. As Dr. O'Brien mentioned, your future accomplishments in each of your emerging careers will likewise reflect on what you've learned at UNO, and you will become a source of pride for your alma mater. Have no doubt that the future of UNO depends significantly on you. Your continued involvement with this school and your ongoing, as Dr. O'Brien mentioned, financial support are critically vital. Universities are judged by the engagement of their alumni, and UNO can improve only with your sustained involvement and support. Please be sure to verify or register your contact information online at www.unoalumni.com to assure that we can sustain our connection with you, so that you can use that website to connect and network with other alumni. You might find that helpful in a job search. And use the alumni website to inform us of your future personal and professional accomplishments so we can share in your pride. And if you remember only 2 words of this caboose message, stay connected. Congratulations to each and all of y'all.
Thank you, Dr. Rodriguez. Graduates, that sounds pretty good, doesn't it? On behalf of everyone present, we congratulate you. on your accomplishments. Let me ask the audience to join me once again to express our congratulations. Graduates, it's now your turn to thank some people. There are two groups of people which I ask you to thank. First and foremost, and most important, are your families, relatives, and friends who have supported you while you pursued your degree. Graduates, please join me in thanking those people. The second group, graduates, that I ask you to thank are the faculty and staff who have taught you, mentored you, and helped you while you were here at the University of New Orleans. I'm happy to say, not yet. You see, they graduate, then they start following instructions right away. Not yet. I'm personally happy to say that we are blessed at this university to have the best faculty and staff of any university in the world. Graduates, now join me in thanking your faculty and staff. I wish to thank the Platform Party and the faculty of the University of New Orleans for their participation in today's ceremony. A word of thanks is also due to the numerous department staff, student ambassadors, and other individuals who have worked hours to make this occasion a success. So let's thank those people as well. It is now my pleasure to call again on Reverend Schultz to present the benediction. Please stand and remain standing for the singing of our alma mater. The alma mater will be presented by Mr. Manolito Damian Smith, with accompaniment by Dr. Charles Taylor and the University of New Orleans Concert Band. The words to the alma mater are found on page 38 of your program.
And now may the God of peace equip you with every good gift, that you may do his will, working in you what is pleasing in his sight. The Almighty and most merciful God, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, bless and preserve you. Amen.
You know our alma mater, proud we stand to sing your fame. You and all, we honor your dear name. Memories will linger on when our years with you have gone, and keep us true to the silver and blue.
I would ask everyone to remain in their seats until the Platform Party and the graduates have recessed from the arena. Good afternoon. Congratulations to all the graduates, and may God bless the University of New Orleans, the heartbeat of the Crescent City.